Welcome on in, NorCal Sports Network. And I think that's about all we can do at this point is a little laughter, everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, everybody. And the clown show continues as predicted by yours truly. Not that guy. He predicted a sweep. I think he's right, but we're getting the sweep. Reverse sweep.
The other sweep, yeah.
Oh, gosh, Dallas. This is hard to watch. Anyway. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to try to entertain you for the next 45 minutes to an hour and see if we can give you a little entertainment. Maybe we'll do a little immaculate, whatever that thing's called.
Grid,
yeah. Thread, grid. We'll be playing that. Our last segment tonight. Welcome on in. NorCal Sports Network. All right, everybody. Welcome. Giants lose it 8-3. I don't know what was worse, watching the game or having to listen to Pence tonight and talking about when the McCarthy stole the base in the 7th inning, I think, to put him up 8 to get into scoring position. And it was the 8th run. And they're saying, oh, I hope the Giants get angry at that. Well, at Coors Field, the Rockies just scored 7 last night in the 8th and 9th innings. No lead is safe. And Hunter Pence and Dave Fleming should know that. Stop trying to whine and complain and look for anything. It was 7-0. That is not insurmountable in Colorado. We saw it last night. The Giants were up 4-1 and lost 8-6. They were up 4-1, 6-3. You 7 to 8 runs in an inning or two at Colorado, not insurmountable, not crazy to think about. So, look, Giants suck, and the Rockies showed heart. Look at the one play when it was a shutout and the ball almost got away from the catcher, and the catcher didn't see it, and the pitcher comes flying in because there was a runner on third, and he didn't want that run to score. I mean, that's Giants they just look defeated. They look dead. I've got one member of the media that thinks if the Giants get swept tomorrow, that Tony might be the fall guy. Is
a member of the media post said that?
I heard it, not directly in a post, but I'll just leave it at that. But is it possible that we saw? I mean, Buster doesn't seem to be waiting around, huh?
Did Tony Vitello put this bullpen together?
Yeah, but you know what? Who's going to take the axe? Is Buster going to
resign?
Did
Tony Vitello hire Malley and Houser? Take a flyer on them to
Well, it would
be the back end of that rotation.
It would look really bad if the Giants got rid of Tony this early. I would be shocked myself, but if they get swept tomorrow and they go on to Milwaukee, I mean, they're 22-36, 14 under. That's 22 divided by 58, a winning percentage of 379. 162 times 37.9%. You're on pace to lose 101 right now. You're on pace to win 61. At this point, they've got to be. I put out a tweet today, Dallas, about the Giants. If you're a Giants fan, tell me if you agree or disagree with this statement that I put together. I want to get your thoughts on this. And it's simply this. Every Giants fan should be rooting for one of three outcomes: a championship contender, a young core showing real progress towards becoming one, or a complete organizational reset if neither of the first two are happening. What nobody should be rooting for is another season of mediocrity. The worst thing that can happen isn't losing 100 games. It's finishing around 500 again and convincing ourselves we're just one player away. That's how franchises get stuck. I'm not rooting for losses because I hate the Giants. I'm rooting for change because I love them. If 100,000 plus loss season is what it takes to force ownership in the front office to finally admit this plan isn't working, then so be it. The goal isn't to be respectable. The goal is to build a championship organization again. And there's your Giants fans want change, not mediocrity. Win big, championship or bust. See progress. You know, we're not seeing any progress, Dallas, or force a change. I'm in the category of force a change. I am all for these losses because they are not going to turn it around. They look as defeated as I've seen a team look defeated. I don't know if it's the veteran leaders that are not rallying the clubhouse and getting behind Tony.
I think that's part of it. Yeah.
But they look like, hey, man, get me out of here. Get me the hell out of San Francisco.
Well, maybe you got two players there that have no trade clauses, so you need them to want out of San Francisco. So if they've reached that point, then that gives Buster some some options with trying to find a home for them.
I'm in. You know what? I'm going to say to Senior's comment right there. I'm going to say amen right there. That's right. I am going to put it up loud and clear on a banner. That's right. I'm going to put it on a banner. Amen. 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 We'll have a church service here. Let's come on. Bring on the losses. It has to happen this way. You've got to wake up Larry Hairbear. Larry! Oh, Larry Bear! Larry! Larry Bear, calling Larry Bear. Your franchise is falling apart and nobody really cares. Nobody likes this. Mark Graves, yes. And how about our thumbnail tonight? Dallas, did you have a different thumbnail ready to go?
I sent it to you, yeah.
Oh, gosh, let me see. I didn't see it. I'll have to look. Oh, yes. I love it. That's what the show was, the video. Okay. I love it. I love it. In case you guys missed our thumbnail tonight, let us I kind of thought this was appropriate tonight, so I'm just gonna let it rip. Here we are. Come on, where'd it go? Yeah, we're getting creative with the thumbnails here on NorCal Sports Network. There we have it. Right. 1, 2, 3. Presto. Clown show continues. Giants embarrassed by the Rockies. There you have the, there it is. Live. We're live right now. So that's it. That is the thumbnail. I don't know what we'll come up with tomorrow. But guys, this is really, really hard to watch. I think it would be easier if positives tonight. Bryce Eldridge, some nice at-bats, doubles down the right field line, smokes one to the deep part of the field that looks like it's gone. The field's so doggone huge. You think Oracle looks big. This outfield just looks like so big. And Bryce blasted, but there was an 11 there was a wind that cut the ball 11 feet, they said. 11 feet he lost on that ball. And then Casey Schmitt, a nice double off the wall. The Giants had, what'd they have, like 5 hits tonight? What was it, Dallas? They had 9 hits. Wait a minute.
Here's the one I did.
Free falling. Wish we could play that. I'm free falling. Yeah. It's look, it doesn't get much worse than this, guys. I'm going to show you how embarrassing this is. I really liked FP, a lot of Santangelo, but FP, you're taking homerism to a whole new level. And let's just listen to FP Santangelo, and then we will people are ripping FP. Everybody's coming at FP. Let's listen to FP, and maybe, I don't know if that's his girlfriend, Susan Slusser, but let's hear it here.
I talked to Buster on the bench during batting practice for a while yesterday. We talked about a number of things that I'm going to keep to myself. The one thing I want to say about him is I don't understand the hatred right now from Giants fans to what's going on against a guy that gave us all those thrills for all those years. I know it's a different role and a different time, but when I talk to Buster Posey, I think about the 2010 World Series.
You're whining, FP.
Shelf at home, and he's a big reason.
What does 2010 have to do with this team?
He gave me as a San Francisco Giant in the 3 World Series that he brought to the city of San Francisco. And there's nothing that can happen with him as a president of baseball operations that's going to change any of those memories for me. So when I see people lashing out, and I got to get off Twitter. It's just a horrible place right now. But when I see people lashing out at a guy just because a team has played poorly for a couple of months, and all these things they're saying about him, whether it's on the radio, whether it's on social media, it just blows my mind that you can be that guy, a wonderful human being, a great person that's brought us all these unbelievable memories, and then you have a bad couple of months, or maybe, a 500 year last year, and people are lashing out. Man, I just don't get that. I'll never get it. He'll always be Hall of Fame catcher Buster Posey to me. And maybe this thing turns around because the guy knows baseball. He knows more baseball in that rant I just went on about Buster Posey than I'll ever know. He's forgot more baseball in this last sentence than I'll ever know. And while maybe this is a work in progress for him and a new experience for him, and possibly overwhelming at times, he's learning, Tony's learning, Hector Borg was learning. And I said this before the season started. There's going to be a lot of moments early in the season with a new manager from college that we're going to be like, whoa. And there's going to be some whoa or WTF moments. But I think for the most part, Tony's done a good job with what he has. And a lot of stuff looks good on paper in spring training. A lot of stuff looks good in the off season when you make these moves. And then it's up to the players, to your point, Susan, to perform, to get to the back of their baseball cards and do their job. But all this hatred toward the front office right now is just blowing my mind.
Oh, come on, FP. They're the worst team.
Right. But first of all, you don't take away 2010, 2012, 2014. Buster is a Hall of Famer. He's going to be he was a great Giant. He will always be a great Giant. There's nothing he can do in the front office that's going to tarnish his legacy with the Giants as a player. That's just not going to happen. He's Buster Posey. That's fine. But you do have to take criticism if during the offseason you made some moves, right? The fan base was critical of those moves. You wanted a better starting rotation. You wanted something in the bullpen. He didn't do that, right? The fans were critical of him then, and now it's the chickens have come home to roost. It has not materialized. The bullpen is a dumpster fire. The starting rotation wasn't deep enough, and so the criticism that he took at the beginning of the season, at the end of the postseason, after his moves were made, he took the criticism. Now that criticism has turned out to be true. So it's not like the fans are jumping on him out of nowhere. This was moves that we were critical of, and it's come to fruition. So I don't know why we can't criticize him, because it's pretty clear they didn't spend any money. They went cheap. They didn't add to the bullpen. They spent $2 million on the bullpen. That was it. And then they spent what, 20 million on the rotation. And as far as additions. So how do you how can you not be critical? I don't understand. I mean, the fans want to see a playoff team. They want to see a good product on the field. They're getting the worst team in baseball to this point. The worst team. The Rockies are going to sweep them tomorrow. The lowly Rockies. The team that used to be the worst team in baseball. So, I mean, obviously you have to accept criticism in these situations when the team is this bad. It's got to happen. Now, fans can go overboard with the hate speak, saying things on Twitter, not just being critical, but being like hateful, malicious. And, that people on Twitter take it too far. And that is an issue with the culture on Twitter. And that's how it always has been, or at least the last 6-7 years. So, that's going to be part of it. But so maybe he's talking about the malicious hate speak that happens on Twitter. But to say that fans can't be critical, that's just simply untrue.
Nuts. That's nuts. Here's what I said on Twitter about this. I responded to this whole FP, here's my post on it. This sounds less like an honest evaluation and more like a former player trying to stay in Buster Posey's good graces and maintain a role within the organization. For the record, I love Buster Posey. My dog is literally named Buster. You guys have all seen Buster on the show. Named after him. I consider him one of the greatest Giants of all time, and a huge reason the Giants brought 3 World Series championships to San Francisco. He's a Giants legend, and by all accounts, a great man. But being a great player doesn't automatically make someone a great executive. The Giants organization is bigger than any one person, including Buster Posey. Fans have every right to criticize the job he's doing as Pobo, just like they would criticize any other executive running a team headed toward 100 losses. What I don't understand is why some people act as if Posey should be immune from criticism because of what he accomplished as a player. If a CEO runs a company into the ground, shareholders hold him accountable. If a Pobo fails to deliver results, fans should hold him accountable too. Posey's accomplishments in 10, 12, 14 don't give him a lifetime pass in 2026. The Giants do have some promising young talent in the system, and the farm system is in better shape than it has been in years. The problem is that many of those players are still 3 to 4 years away from making a meaningful impact at the major league level. Meanwhile, the major league roster is aging, expensive, underperforming, and on pace for one of the worst seasons in franchise history. Fans aren't criticizing Posey because they dislike him. They're criticizing him because the results on the field have been unacceptable. Criticizing Posey's performance as an executive isn't disrespecting his legacy as a player. Those are two completely different conversations. Giants fans can appreciate everything Buster did on the field while still demanding accountability and better results from the front office. FP.
Yes, absolutely.
Come on, FP. Grow up,
Now,
man. Grow a pair. You sound like you're just like trying to kiss ass and really just trying to maintain a place in the organization. Just come on. We're not blind. Buster, as Dallas said, he didn't do anything with this bullpen. Come on, FP. You should be better than that. If this was an outside organization, he would. Come on, FP. Sour Shoe says he's a snake. He sounds like a little weasel to me, a little boy. Just that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's a bad take. I mean, fans are going to be critical when the team is performing this poorly. Now, a lot of fans want him to be fired. I'm not one of those fans. I don't say you fire Posey after a year and a half.
Why?
Because none of his decisions have even taken hold yet. He's had one draft.
But do you trust a guy that's making horrible decisions to have you have a great opportunity in a little over a month, a draft that can set the direction of the franchise, and you have a trade deadline coming up? Why not bring somebody in here that's, done this before?
I would be fine with him hiring somebody else, if you want to pin the blame on Manazian and go a different direction. I think
he's got to bring in somebody. I mean, this is a all-out alert, 911, Mayday, whatever you want to call it. You have got to get somebody in here that can help Posey navigate the trade deadline. You got to get somebody that.
He did fine at the trade deadline last year, I thought. So if he's going to be moving players this year, we can see what kind of moves he makes. But these moves that he's done in the trade deadline last year, we haven't seen the results of those yet. And whatever he does now in the trade deadline, we're not going to see the results of those for several more years to come. Because when you're trading for prospects that are several years away, you don't get to see the fruit of those maneuvers. So, I think it's a longer term situation. People want to react, but you don't even want them to try and compete right now anyway. You want them to rebuild. So to want him fired over the performance of this team, and we don't even know what budgetary restrictions he's had.
I don't trust his baseball instincts.
He wanted to go and sign more relievers. Maybe he wanted to go and sign
I don't trust his baseball
bigger
instincts,
starters,
Dallas.
and he wasn't given the opportunity from the ownership. So
then he
we don't really
resign.
know what's going on.
He said he wasn't prohibited in any way from salary, and if he's telling the truth, then he's inept. And if he's covering for the owners, then he should just quit because he's not able to do what he needs to do. If my hands were tied, I certainly wouldn't want to go down in an embarrassing, just a spiral downhill because my hands are tied and I'm looking like I don't know what I'm doing when quite possibly, I do know what I'm doing, but the owners won't let me do it. That's me. Forget me. I have pride in myself. I would not want to be just sitting there taking my lumps as, one of the all-time worst executives because I can't do what I want to do and I got to cover the owners. This is precisely what the owners wanted. But hey, let's get to an OG of the show, Mark Hope. Good to hear from you, Mark. He says, "Hi, Dan. God bless you and your beautiful family. FYI, Buck Showalter is sitting at home right now. What are your thoughts on that?" Well, Buck's a great leader of men. I don't know how old is Buck. He's got to be getting up there, right? But I don't know. It would be interesting to see. I am a little worried about Tony right now. And the reason is this season's getting away. We saw what Philadelphia did to Rob Thompson when they were just 29 games into the season. They were 9-19. Giants came into town. They fired him. Now you look at the Phillies, they're over 500. Sometimes guy takes the fall, and it's not always right.
Yeah, but he had 4 years to screw it up. Tony's had 50 something games.
Well, so, yeah, I'm just saying that they're gonna if hopefully they don't react and just say, well, we're going to punt on this season, and the plan is to rebuild and sell off of all these veterans. But if their idea is, hey, we're going to bring these guys back, these are our guys that we're going to run with for the next year or two.
Then, why would they do that? It's not working.
Why wouldn't they? Why do they do what they do? I don't know. I mean, they're one of the dumbest organizations around.
I mean, they did it because the guys had track records. They thought it would work. Turned out it didn't work. You can't predict the future. You can't predict you can't predict chemistry. You can try to.
I can predict some futures with Matt Chapman. Just all I had to do is watch his previous 5 years. I told everybody Matt Chapman was awful at the plate, and hasn't hit 250 since 2019. What do we need this guy for? Can't drive in runs, but he did get this is the kind of runs that Chapman gets tonight. The third run, his RBI. That's the kind of stuff when Chapman comes through, when there's no pressure and he's not up, put pressure on the dude, pressure situation. It's just choke all you want, man. He just freezes and can't hit. Sean is out in Tokyo. What is that? 1,000 yen. I don't know what that is, but thank you. Out here in Tokyo, also known as Otani Land. I'm just studying abroad in Sofia. Tokyo Giants fired their manager for choking out his daughter drunk. Maybe it's a sign to let Vitello go. Team stinks. Well, Tony doesn't have a daughter to choke, so maybe, but I don't know, man. Hey, thanks for watching from Tokyo. They got a good manager over there somewhere in Japan. Look, I like Tony. I'm not going to get on Tony. Give me a Japanese businessman that'll come in here and buy this team, and no nonsense, please. Mike Val, $5. Do you want to see Buster sitting here 5 years from now, the day he resigned, shrugging his shoulders, saying, hey, I tried? It's going to be hard for Buster to make it after he's got one more year that he's supposedly signed through. He's part owner. But I think the heat's going to get to Buster at some point. And, he's going to say, man, this is a lot tougher than I thought, trying to turn a sinking ship that has, no rowers on it, doesn't have a motor. It's just, it doesn't have a leader. I mean, let's hope for, hey, I would like to see
them move Chapman and, add a couple more pieces, switch out some parts. This combination of players isn't working. So you got to try to diversify the team so that they're not all the same type of hitter. You got to get more guys that, hit for average, contact hitters, get guys that are clutch hitters, look at that as far as stats goes, where guys that come through when the money's on the line. They don't have a lot of those guys. So, if they could swap out some underperforming pieces, bring in some new ones, and then add pitching. You want a solid bullpen. You want a solid rotation. 1 through 5, you want guys that are at least Landon Roop quality or better. Guys that you think that on any given day they can come in and win. And that might cost some money right now because they don't have a lot coming through the system. Wisenhunt's a question mark, Birdsong question mark, Tidwell question mark. You don't know. So if those guys step up over the course of the rest of this year, if they you trade Ray, you trade Malley, you trade Houser, trade them all, and just pitch the young guys, and maybe some of those guys can get can figure things out and get to the point where at the end of this year you can be confident going into next year. You've got one or two pitchers, that you can move forward with, then you got to add two more, and then, the rotation next year could be a lot more solid than what you're dealing with right now. So I think at this point, that's got to be, you got to move some of these infielders, highly paid infielders. You got to move one or two of them at least, and then make room for the young guys that are going to be coming up in the next couple of years. So, this combination is not working. You got to shuffle the deck. You got to discard some and draw some more and try to come up with a combination that's going to work. And that's got to be, what they try moving into the future while they wait for their young studs to kind of move through the system.
Yeah. Right now, I was off a game. They're on pace for 62 and 100. That would be fine. But I think what would really probably get everything to clean house would be this. How would that be? Could you handle that, Dallas?
Handle it? I mean, I don't see the difference between losing 100 and losing 123.
Yeah.
It's all terrible.
But wouldn't 123 be like so bad that they set a major league record as the worst franchise of all time with that? Now, I hate to see Tony tagged with that, because everybody would, but we all know this isn't, Johnny says they aren't losing 123. No, I don't think it's possible.
They've already won 22. So
yeah, I don't think they're
going to definitely win 44.
I don't think they're going to lose 123 either, but 103 would be nice. 59 and 103 sounds good. 59 and 103, I think, would be a solid record. I think, or maybe 107. How about that? We got 107. There you go. Let's lose 107, and then maybe we'll have 5 consecutive years of really good baseball. We'll just reverse that curse of 21. 21 curse, and it's a reverse curse. Lose 107, and then we get 5 years of just like 90-plus wins. That's what I'm rooting for. 107. 107. That will kind of bind that 107 win season, and then everybody thought we were arrived, and this team, was on its way to, I don't know. What's this one here? Did anyone bring up the interview with Flannery? I didn't see it, hear it. Pretty much said coaches aren't holding players accountable enough. He said he's frustrated watching games. Interesting.
Not the only one.
Look, like I said, I root for Schmitt. I root for Eldridge. And I want to see those guys do well. And I want to see, Arise. He's just going to do fine anyway. So my feeling is I want to see the national media bear down on the Giants front office and basically call it for what it is, a clown show. And you've got, you think about this. Tony, we don't know if he's the right guy or not. I'm not going to sit here and get on Tony, but you think the plan would be, we're bringing in Tony Vitello, we're going to go young, and we're just going to announce it. We're going to go young, and we're building toward the future, and Tony's the guy to take us into the future. But
do teams
no.
Ever do that, though? They say, we're going young.
St. Louis did it all off season.
They do it, but they don't say it, right?
Yeah, they did. St. Louis came out and said, we're rebuilding. So go ahead and Senior thinks Buster changed course last year around the deadline. All his actions point toward it. And he really believes that. And that may be the case. Buster may have went for it with the Devers trade in June and then realized, oh, crap, this isn't going to work. Let's hope that's the case, because if not, I'm not 100% sure it's that way, because some of his actions,
I don't know if it was a big enough sample size to make that determination at that time. You know,
well,
he came in, it didn't work, but at that point it was like, you know, Devers could turn it around. They went on that prolonged losing streak, you know, and then at that point, you think he had remorse, buyer's remorse right then, and was going to change course at that point. I think before you can change course, you got to ride it out and see exactly what's what after, you know, a large enough sample size of games. And now we're reaching that point. We've had a whole year of Devers now, and it's not working. Doesn't appear to be getting better.
You're now with Rafi Devers. What are they now? 22 and what? 36 or 5?
36.
They're 22 and 36. Okay, so I was off. I had it 35. So they're 14 under. I take that back. They are on pace to lose 102 or 101.
Barucki is going to be one of the next ones to go smash crew. He's on this team right now because they signed him to a major league deal, $1.5 million. And so once they let him go, he's gone. You know, he doesn't have options. But I don't know why you'd hold on to him when you've got.
I agree, Justin.
Enough lefties in the bullpen.
I agree.
If a good deal comes along, I mean, when you wait longer, more teams get injuries. There might be more buyers. Teams, you know, come to the determination they need to add, and so the pool of potential trade partners increases, I think, as you get closer.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason to wait, is you might get more, and might get a bidding war, that type of thing.
Yeah. You also run the risk of a guy getting injured and then nobody wants him and you're stuck with him. That's why guys
also can happen.
That's why they pull guys when they trade them. They take them right out of the game, you know, because you're not going to play and injure yourself and the deal gets blown up. So the quicker they can get rid of these guys. Look, at this point, tomorrow, I mean, how do you get excited even if the Giants win tomorrow, right? I mean, how do you even okay, we're 23 and 36. It's like, and Pence talking tonight, don't make the last out. Don't make the last out. Like, what? Are you trying to get the casuals in the watching the game, like on the edge of their seat, thinking they got a chance to win the game?
It'd be one thing if this team had shown any ability to come back from a deficit this season. They have not come back after the sixth inning if they've been behind in any game, right? I mean, they was tied. They had the walk-off, but when there's a deficit, they don't come back. So, you know, I guess you say that so that you keep a few more eyeballs on the TV set, sell some more ads, and so people aren't just turning off the TV once, you know, it reaches a certain point. I don't even know what the reason is of saying that, of the keep hope alive thing.
Yeah, and then just an inning before,
clear at that point.
An inning before, you're whining about the fact that the Giants should be ticked because McCarthy stole second base and then scored to make it 8-0, and it's like you're whining about that, and then you're saying, "Oh, they could come back. They could come back." But look, they're in a tough position. I don't envy Dave Fleming, Hunter Pence, because number one, they're instructed by Larry Baer. I don't have this. I've got a pretty good source that pretty sure this is the case, that they're instructed by Larry Baer to ham it up and be entertaining, be pro Giants. Don't get too hard on this team. They don't talk negative about it. You listen to other broadcasts, they would be shredding their teams, saying this is unacceptable. These guys are not putting out effort. No, they build up Chapman. They build up Adames. They build up Devers. When guys don't hustle, they don't call it out. And, the whole Harrison Bader thing, move. He signed for 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's injured again. What's his injury tonight? What was it? He's not back on the IL.
He's back on the IL.
Yeah, for what? What?
I think he hurt his back thrusting too much.
In the outfield. Well,
no,
because he doesn't get enough practice because they do it once a week. Let me look at the transactions here.
Oh, plantar fasciitis.
Left plantar fasciitis. So Will Brennan's back. Hey, Will Brennan. That's going to change the mojo. Yep, they have to sell tickets for these guys. Exactly. And the casuals just keep buying. Keep buying. I love the casuals, man. They just keep buying. And the ownership just like, hey, why do we need to put a winner out? These people are fools. They keep showing up to our ballpark. Mark Hope, again, great show. A month ago, I thought we were in the 2008 era. Now I think we're in the early 80s. What are your thoughts about the trade deadline? I'm of the mind to trade all the stars for prospects. Exactly, Mark. I'm 100% in agreement. Been saying that for a month or more, actually for a couple of years. But now that it's gone this way, and Devers was awful in April, and Chapman is in decline, and Adames isn't that good of a player. And I've been saying get rid of Webb for years because he's an asset. Get rid of everything. You should strip that payroll down. The Giants should strip their payroll down to about $70 million. As low as they can get it. $60 million. They might, and just go get young players and get some athleticism and trade all these guys and
why do you want them to spend $70 million?
$60 million.
Why?
Because they should get rid of every guy that's got a multi-year contract.
Right, but you're just trying to save them money? The ownership group?
I'm saying that gets rid of these guys, and then they build over, and they got young people. I don't really care if they're paying $500 million and they got rid of all these guys. Just get rid of these guys. But that's what you should be doing. You should be, getting to a low level so that you're flexible, and that if you are one day good in the next year or 2 or 3, and you need the stars, you're way under the whatever the cap is or whatever it's going to be, that you can afford to get that star or 2. But I'm not talking stars that are on decline. I'm talking about stars that are in their prime or on the rise. The Tampa Bay has a $70 million payroll, and they're one of the best teams in baseball. And they got great player personnel. They got great player development.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they should definitely, move the guys where you have a replacement ready to go. Like Chapman should go because you got Schmitt.
Yeah, the problem is they don't have a backup shortstop. They don't have a second baseman with a rise. They have Eldridge at first. They could go with Ramos in left. You could probably just stick with what's his name, Drew Gilbert for center. They don't have a right fielder. Maybe it's Bo Davidson. Maybe he gets going. They don't have much pitching. You got Roop, and looks like you got Roop, and I don't know what do they have for pitching. They don't have any pitching besides Roop and Webb. And Webb's the best asset you have that will actually bring you the best set of prospects. So move off of him. Yeah, someone said McCray.
That's why I say don't get a Webb because you don't have any pitching.
Well, they're 22 and 37 with, or 36 with Webb. What is Logan Webb going to do? Prevent
Well, I mean,
you from
if you
losing?
want to lose, then fine. Then move everybody.
Oh, we forgot McDonald. Yeah, not Tim McDonald. Trevor McDonald. I forgot. You got McDonald and Roop that you might be able to build around. They're stupid for keeping Logan Webb. What's he going to do? They're just going to keep him until the 28th season, and then he's going to just walk away as a free agent, and they won nothing? What'd you get out of Webb then?
You got a pitcher.
What do you get out of Webb if he doesn't get you over 500 and he walks away? What do you get?
Well, it's because they don't have someone to complement Webb.
That's what I'm saying. Trade him. What is Logan Webb? He's not Steph Curry. He's not no icon. He's not no like all-time great, and you can't get rid of him because he's a star attraction.
I mean, if you're not trying to win, then by all means get rid of him.
They're trying to win though, Dallas, and they can't win. They've been trying to win since 22.
Yeah, so so don't try to win, you're saying. Just give up.
No,
Maybe they should
trade him.
They should just fold the team, They should just not have the Giants anymore.
So that you can actually look at the Washington Nationals. They're getting good. Look at the Chicago White Sox. They're getting good. The Pirates, they're getting good. What the Brewers, they're staying good. The Rays, they're young and getting good. The A's, they're young and good. The Diamondbacks, I don't know. I ask this all the time, and I really want somebody to give me an answer that makes sense and says, Dan, and I go, wow, I didn't see that. They should never trade Webb. You're right. They've got to keep Webb. Give me 2 or 3 good reasons that the Giants should hang on to Logan Webb and let him walk in free agency in 28.
Because they're trying to win games. They're trying to get in the playoffs each year. That's their goal.
Dallas, they're 20.
That's their goal.
But they're.
I don't care what the record is right now. Last year they were 500. Every year they're 500. So they're trying to get 10 games over 500. That's what they're trying to do. Now it's not working right now. You can tell me the record right now. That's fine.
So what happens if they keep Webb and he gets some? Let's say he makes them a winner and they get to 82 games, 82 and 80, and let me put it a different way. Let's say you have a house. Well, all right, I can't do my analogy with them. Here, win in the future is what I'm trying to say. They should win in the future because it's blatantly obvious they aren't going to win now, no matter what they do. Exactly. Guys, think of it this way. You have a house that is worth $1 million. Let's just say, $1 million. And the house in 2 years, you're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your house, and you have a chance to trade a beautiful $1 million house. All right, I'm giving you an example. You got $1 million home, Dallas. And in 2 years, if you don't do anything with the house, you lose the house. Okay? You're going to lose your house, and you're going to get nothing for it. But right now, it's worth $1 million, and someone's going to offer you 2 really nice newer houses that you get to keep for several years, and they're new polished houses, and they're not worth $1 million right now, but they might be worth well more than $1 million. But you have them.
You have them, but you can't live in them yet.
No, you can live in them. You can
No,
live in
you
them.
can't.
Why can't
They're not
you?
ready.
Why aren't they ready?
They're 2 years away. They're houses that are in AA.
No, what happens if you get houses that are major league ready? You get houses that are built and they're ready to move in, and you put them in there and they're functioning and they get better.
Who's trading major league ready houses why don't they just use them?
Because they're not proven. And you want a proven player or winner. Bottom line is Logan Webb leaves in 2 more seasons. Giants are not built to win. And you're going to waste an asset that you're...
I'm just saying this. Next year, the Giants are going to want to try to make the playoffs, right? Next year.
No.
They're not going to try to make the playoffs next year?
How are they going to do that? How are they going to try and make the playoffs next year?
They try to make the playoffs every year. They try to.
So what are they going to do? Keep this unit together?
No, they're going to move some pieces. They're going to try to improve the team. This is not working. So you have to get rid of some things that aren't working, add some other pieces that might work.
How are you going to do that? You have no assets.
You have money.
No one wants your money. No one wants to come to Oracle Park as a free agent. Who's going to trade? Who are you going to trade to get good players? Your top prospects?
No, I mean, I'm just saying get rid of Chapman, and you already have Schmitt.
Okay, and get rid of Chapman, get rid of Adames. What are you going to get for him? You think you're going to get
nothing? You can't. They're worthless.
Okay, so what are you replacing those guys with? Adames.
I'm not replacing Adames because I don't have a replacement for him.
So how are you going to win?
By improving other positions.
Like what?
Pitching.
How?
Sign a free agent pitcher. You can do that. They want to come and pitch in San Francisco because it's a great ballpark for pitchers. You can improve a pitching staff.
Okay. Framber Valdez has been awful.
I mean, maybe that's great they didn't sign him then.
I mean, the only way to do this the right way is to build it young.
That's the problem. They don't have pitching.
Well, that's why you trade your assets to get pitching. Young pitching. Stop playing for the playoffs in 27 and 28. Why?
Then you need a pitcher.
You need a rebuild. How do you, the only way you actually can make it work is you got to start over. It's like the house is tilted. Tear it down and build it on a right foundation. The Giants are built on sand right now. You got to start over. And what is worse?
Hold on one second.
Starting over and losing with young players who are learning and they're exciting and they're athletic and they're fast and they make mistakes, but you're like, dang, they're our kids and we're going to watch them grow. And we're going to suffer a little bit, but man, the Houston Astros lost 100+ games for 2 or 3 years with Altuve and Correa and some of the others, and then they kept drafting guys, and all of a sudden they're championship caliber team and playoff for years. Why would you keep going down this road? I don't get the mentality of Giants fans that think we've got to keep retooling. They've been doing that for 10 years. And where has it got them? Mark, thank you. He says, I'm with you, Dan, regarding starting pitching. I'm so deflated. I really had high hopes for Webb, Roop, Ray, Houser, and Molly. The starting five is the key. Lincecum isn't walking through the door. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Thank you. You're 100% right. 100% right. Lincecum is not walking through that door. Dallas, what I'm trying to say, and I'm talking to all Giants fans, because what you're saying is what is the mentality.
I understand
of the front
that
office.
You want to rebuild.
Yeah, the front office.
I'm saying I understand you want to rebuild, but I'm saying that in this reality, they're not going to do that. They're going to play for now, and they're going to build their farm system also.
And they're going to be awful for a long time.
They're going to be awful until their prospects come up.
Yeah, and they get
in
rid
3
of these guys,
years,
and they get rid of these contracts. And in the
yeah,
meantime,
they have to do that.
In the meantime, they are preventing guys from probably coming up. Who's going to play shortstop? Who's going to play second base?
They don't have a shortstop.
Yeah, they do. Willie Adames for the next 6 years after this year.
Well, they're going to have to move off of that. They knew that when they signed him, that they were signing him for more years than they needed to, but that's the only way they could get a free agent to come here. But they didn't have any other options. They had Tyler Fitzgerald, and that wasn't working, so they had to do something to try to get something on the field, and that's just money. You know, the money thing, they can spend money.
They piss money away all the time. Well, they might as well just, I'm
saying if they just cut Adames right now and ate his money, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to play shortstop?
They can probably make a small trade and get an adequate shortstop. Hassan Kim.
Who are they trading?
Hassan Kim's available, but it's $20 million a year. But I think it's only for a 1-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. He could come over and finish the year out at shortstop. The Braves, they really don't want to use him. They've got this kid. I was watching him tonight. He had a home run. Let me think of his name. I got to find his name. Hold on. They've also got, let me see this kid. Phillies lead the Dodgers 4-3, by the way, in the bottom of the ninth. Starting, hold on here. Let me just see something here. Rangers beat the Royals 7-6. Okay, come on. Where's the doggone game? Boy, the Angels 14-3 over Tampa tonight. And Wade Meckler hit a grand slam. Remember old Wade Meckler? Hit a home run the other night. Wade Meckler. Okay. Braves. This kid on the Braves, he may be taking over the shortstop role. His name's Mateo. A young guy. Maybe you can get a guy like that. I mean, the Braves have, they got Hassan Kim. I mean, you can get
Hassan Kim is not as good a player as Willie Adames.
Who cares? You get rid of him in a year. He's got a 1-year deal.
So we just have a revolving door. That's fine. I mean, I don't think Willie Adames is the answer. He's not cutting it. So, I'm fine if you can figure out a way to move off of half of that contract, then do it.
Yeah. See, this is my point.
It is too long.
If they're going to be awful for 3 years anyway, they should just speed up the process by rebuilding in the meantime. That's what rebuilds do. They make more promising future come sooner. Yeah, you get these younger guys, they learn to develop in the big leagues.
All right, but Dan, you're the GM.
Yeah.
I'm the owner.
Okay.
Hey, Dan, we're not rebuilding. I want a team that can make the playoffs. There's 3 wild cards. It should be pretty easy for you to get a team together that can get the wild card next year. I want some playoff revenue. How can you do that for me?
How much money do I have to spend, Mr.?
You can go up to the luxury tax.
Oh, I can go up to the luxury tax. What happens if I need to go over because I got a player that's going to
figure it out.
Okay. And I've already got these. I've got this roster as I have now.
Yeah, you're saddled with these people, but if you need to cut some, do whatever you got to do. But
okay,
we need
so
to
how
make the
about if we cut
playoffs.
all these guys and then you pay their salaries? You're gonna, and then I'm gonna start over, and I'm gonna be able to go up to the tax level.
No. Those salaries are on the books. So if you could move them, for half of it, then go ahead and do that.
I suggest you find another GM, Mr. Owner, because nobody can do that for you. If you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to be FP Santangelo and just kiss your ass so I can have a job?
I'm saying that we're in a reality here. We have contracts on the books. We have budgetary constraints. It's a business, and this is what we have to work with.
Okay,
is there a way to get this done or not?
Am I Dan Cucciamilli or am I FP Santangelo?
You're Dan.
I'd say stick it up your ass. I can't do it.
Okay, but we'll give you 0.25% of the Giants organization.
Well, I've got a lot of respect for myself. I'm going to be laughed at all across America by all of baseball because I'm going to try and put together a team, and I'm strapped with Devers, Chapman, Adames. I've got $19 million. I'm got to pay. You're going to pay Jung Hoo Lee. You're paying Logan Webb.
I mean, you have all these pieces. They're not complete zeros.
All right.
They do have some value.
I will dump these guys then. I'll do it for you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, who lacks a Johnson, but anyway, let's look at this. I will move off of you're okay as long I can do whatever I want, right? I can move off of Devers, Chapman, Webb, Adames, and whatever I can get back. I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you may not make the playoffs for a year or two, but I'll get you in the playoffs within year 3.
Okay, but I want you to try to get in the playoffs every year.
I'll do my best, but here I go. I'm getting rid of.
I want to be in the playoffs next year.
All right, I'm gonna get rid of 40 to 50 million a year off the books, and we're gonna move Chapman, and we're gonna move Devers. We're gonna move Adames. I might even move Jung Hoo Lee. Yeah, I'm and Webb's definitely gone, and Robbie Ray's going. I'm going to cut your payroll down, but I'm going to spend because I have up to 246 or whatever and I'm going to go up there.
Well, you got to pay these contracts that we have.
I'll save you money there.
Okay.
But I'm going to spend every last penny you got, Mr. Johnson.
Okay. But you need to, we need 5 pitchers to pitch.
Eddie, I can move Chapman. Just watch me. I will move Chapman if I have to. I will find creative ways to move Chapman. You know how I move Chapman? You want to know how I move Chapman? Hi, Mr. Steinbrenner. Oh, let's just pretend it's somebody that's in the Grapefruit League. All right, who's in the Grapefruit League? How about the Mariners? All right. You don't want Chapman? Well, you got to take him. If you want Webb, you can either give me your top 2 prospects for Logan Webb, or you can keep those prospects. You just got to take Matt Chapman in this deal. Okay. All right, there we go. Webb and Chapman off to Seattle, or off to Milwaukee, or off to, heck, I'll even trade him to the Dodgers. And I get rid of Chapman that way. Next, Adames. I will pay Now I didn't lose. I didn't have to pay Chapman anything. I just got rid of his salary. Next, I'm moving. I'll move Devers, and I'll find a team that loves Devers, the right fit for him. He doesn't have a no trade clause, and I will get Devers out of here. And yep, there we go. I'm going to get rid of all these guys.
All right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if Posey's thinking the same way as you are.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he doesn't rebuild, I got to believe Buster's a pretty sharp guy. I got to believe that. All right. He's got to be able to see this. If he thinks he can try to put together and thread the needle, this season's done. Would you agree? 26 is over.
This season's over.
This season, did we hear Dallas say this season is over? Did you say this season's over?
This season's over.
All right. Wait a minute. Do I have a song for that?
If you can't.
From CTE, he's getting tired of watching this complete pile of excrement. He says he can no longer work for Greg Johnson. He wants completely free of Larry Bear. He said he's repenting of his SF Giant sins. He wants to be set free, but he's still struggling with hanging on. He's losing hope by the day, but still.
Wait, do you still think there's a 10-game winning streak in this team?
It's hard to think that because they can't even beat the Rockies. So
I can't remove this line. It's already
thinks that it's possible for a 10-game win streak and back to 500. Dallas get free of CTE and accept the fact that this team is headed for 90+ losses.
Do you think it's a 90+?
If they were going to turn around, this was where you do it, right? You do it against the Rockies. You do it. You come back, you figure out how to beat the Diamondbacks, you beat up on the White Sox, the A's. You're supposed to turn it around during this stretch of the year, and they are falling farther and farther behind, and they just don't have it. So, it's not going to happen. And so now you have to transition right now into sell mode. Figure out who you can move, get as much as you can for it, and restock the cabinets.
Yeah, we should start pulling up the tragic number. At this point, we could be eliminated by August, sometime in August. We could be over like 25, 30 games out. So,
I mean, I don't know if that's
they're happy for you.
Possible,
they're happy for you. You're getting freed. I told you that. Now, could the Giants win tomorrow?
I don't know why you want to be happy for me. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm not going to relitigate it again.
I know. It gets easier when you get into your 60s and you start realizing that it's, hey, look, I don't know how to put it with everybody, but I think a rebuild would be exciting, would be fun, would actually be entertaining, would be like, wait a minute, we got all these young guys and they're going to grow up together in their early 20s. I mean, and we get to root for these young kids and we get to at least watch them develop, and we see athleticism because they are. Would I trade Devers? Mascadoro says, would I trade Devers for Mike Trout? I don't know if that's one problem for another, but probably just to get, I'd probably do it just because I can move Trout again. If I got rid of Devers just to get him out of here, yeah, I'd probably do it. At least you don't have that stockpile at first base and DH. You can just put Devers out or Trout out in right field. But
Do you trade Schmitt?
Why?
Because he's here now, and you're playing for the future. If he has value, he's just like Logan Webb.
If I can get some young, good, solid pieces for him, would I trade him? Yeah. If I'm trading everybody else, I mean, the Giants would be so stupid they'd trade Schmitt and keep Chapman. That's what the Giants
would be stupid.
That's what they would do. But think about how fun it would be, everybody, to have all these young prospects, and you're getting top prospects from other organizations, and you're making deals, and you got a whole new player development group that is coming out of a system like Milwaukee or Tampa, and you're developing these guys, and you're just getting rid of all this giant excess excrement, and you're just moving off, and you're saying, we're going to get young. We're going to have all these young guys coming, and we have one of the top 5 farm systems. We've got 7 or 8 prospects at any given time that are top 100 players, and everybody's on a completely different regiment, and they're drafting speed, and they're drafting guys that make contact, and you just have this massive wave of talent that is really solid talent, and you keep getting top international free agents, and this year they can end up with the 10th pick, which would be a solid pick, and if they're crappy next year, they can end up in the top 3 or 4 again, and then they just keep adding, and they're getting top college players and you got high school players that are developing, and they're all coming up, and then you just develop this core of great types of players, and then in 2030 you're near the top of baseball, and you got all this money now because you're not tied in with these contracts, and you got all these young guys that are making, closer to league minimums, and then you're going out and getting these great pitchers because you've got all this money that's not tied up in all these crappy position players, and you go out and you're able to get the Scoobles of the world or the Paul Skeens. Think of that. You get the Paul Skeens when he becomes a free agent because he's still young. And then you have this 7-8 year run. And in the meantime, you've learned how to develop because you've got people in the front office that know what they're doing, and they're drafting and developing the type of ball player that fits your athletic mold. But this team is slow as heck, Dallas.
Very.
Why do we not have anybody? We watch other teams, and we watch Jake McCarthy run around. We watch Corbin Carroll. We watch all these. We watch, the Braves and Ronald Acuna running around, and Ozzie Albies, and guys that have speed, and then we get these lug boats. We even have tugboat, right? We have a tugboat.
That is a big criticism. I mean, the construction is just suspect. Bullpen is an issue. The rotation is an issue, and then just the fact that there is no speed at all it's tough. So, I mean, Vitello wasn't given a lot to work with. That's for sure.
No, he's not. Rod Dunham. Thank you, Rod, for super chat. Dan, what are the odds Joe Lacob soon offers to buy out Johnson? What happened to that?
Sorry. Try that again.
Because Johnson now sees the team as a bad future stock, then Lacob hires Ned Colletti as GM to turn this entire thing around. Your thoughts? I love the idea of Lacob buying out Johnson. They don't need to buy the whole team. They just need to buy the majority. And the Johnsons own about 26, 27% of the franchise. So if the franchise is worth $5 billion, you're probably only needing to come up with, over $1 billion to buy them out, right? If it's worth $5 billion, you probably need to come up with 28%, let's say $1.4 billion. If you came up with $1.4 billion, you could become the majority owner. As far as the Ned thing, I like Ned. I just don't know if he would, at this point, be the guy to. Now, one area where I would like Ned is just kind of overseeing something where he can pick the right people to run it, where Ned is kind of more like Buster, but he's got somebody else running the show. I don't know. I mean, Ned could do it. I just don't know how long he'd want to do it for. Would he want to do it for 3 years or less or more? I don't know. But he would be good to do it. I think him overseeing the whole thing would be great. But I don't know. Something's going to happen. You get the feeling, though, that something is going to happen tomorrow if they lose. That's some type of. I mean, are they just going to fly to Milwaukee with their heads between their legs?
I don't know. I don't know what the move would be at this point. You've done a lot of these moves. I mean, what could they do?
Who excites you on the team right now?
Eldridge. I think his at-bats are looking a lot better. He's patient at the plate, and he hits the ball hard. And he's getting better and better. He is adjusting to the big leagues, and it's fun to watch. They need to move him down in the lineup. Having him hit 8th is great, but I think you could have him hitting 6th, and he could help the team more.
Yeah, where was he batting tonight? He was batting. Let me look at the box score. Eldridge was batting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, can we stop with the Adames leading off crap?
Yeah, Lee is back, and he went 2 for 4 tonight. He went 4 for 5 yesterday.
Just put Jung Hoo Lee in the leadoff position, please. I don't want to see Willie Adames leading off. I don't know. I mean, why not just go something like this? Why not go? If you want to mix things up, here, I'll mix it up for you. You ready for this lineup, guys? Off the cuff of my head right now. Jung Hoo Lee leading off right field. Casey Schmitt batting second in left field. Luis Arise batting third. Okay. Batting fourth. How about we
Schmitt before Arise?
I was just doing the righty lefty thing, but I guess.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? It's going to get screwed up here anyway. So we got too many lefties in the lineup. So let's just screw the righty lefty. Let's just go. Let's just go Lee, and then we'll go Arise. Schmitt 3. Give me Eldridge 4 in front of Devers, so he sees the pitches. Hopefully Devers can keep hitting. Devers 5.
I just don't think they would do that. I mean, I understand your thought process, but I think the rookie isn't going to hit ahead of Devers.
Or you can put Devers 4 and Eldridge 5, but they're not going to put Eldridge above Chapman. But you know what?
I think they should at this point.
You know what? I'm thinking we maybe just play with 5 or 6 guys and forget the rest. See if we can just let these 5 convince the other team to we'll just skip the inning that the other guys come up, your turn, and then we'll just stay in the field, and then we'll get these other 5, 6 guys up again. We'll put Susak in there. But, the bottom 3, maybe things turn around when Ramos comes back. Ramos was a big loss, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they miss him.
Yeah. A 4-batter lineup. Yeah. I don't know, man. This is not a good lineup. Yeah. I only like watching, and I said it before, I like watching Arise, Schmitt, and Eldridge. And if I said the order, it's probably Eldridge 1, Schmitt 2, Arise 3. Why Arise 3 and not 1? Because he doesn't hit for any power, and he's not that exciting. He's just a pesky guy, but you're glad to have him. But you also know that he's going to be gone in a month or 2. So just
yep.
It's a complete train wreck, everybody. I don't know. Go ahead and hit that like button if you would. That would be awesome. Let me see how many we've got in the show right now here. Hold on here. What are we watching here? We got nice. 224 with 81 likes. 224 with 81 likes. You know what that means, everybody. We got to get to 150 quickly. There's about 100 and plus in there that hasn't hit the like button yet. So go ahead and hit that like button, and that will really help the show out. We'll get this thing pushed out to even more people. So go ahead and do that. Would really appreciate that. Hit that like button. Bump those numbers up from 81, now 88. Should be flying over 150 soon. So yeah, this is a real problem of a team, guys. It's just really no athleticism. Like I say, they don't steal bases. Your hardest players that hustle and play hard. You've got Casey Schmitt, who plays really hard. Gilbert seems to play pretty hard. Jung Hoo Lee, that was a nice hustle for him to get the triple. He could have easily just stopped at second tonight, in the bottom of the 9th. But I like the fact that Jung Hoo Lee was flying out of the box. Casey Schmitt, when he hit the double, it bounced off the wall. The right fielder had a shot. I can tell you this, Matt Chapman, Rafael Devers, I don't think they make it to second base because they don't look at the ball and go, shoot, I'm flying. That's not going to get out of here. I'm going to fly the whole way. Schmitt hauls around first, head first dive into second. That's what you want to see is guys that are playing all out. So yeah. And it's just, it's really hard to watch. Matt Chapman, how many at-bats has Matt Chapman had now, Dallas?
This season?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can tell you. He has had.
And he had 4 tonight. So
210 at-bats.
That's including the 4 tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay, 214. How many home runs?
1.
1 home run in 214 at-bats. I don't even know how that's possible. How about Fernando Tatis? He's another guy. I don't even know if does Tatis even have a home run yet?
I don't think so. It's
unreal. Well, we know Tatis, it's roids. He's not on the roids anymore, so he's not getting the home runs. With Chapman, it's just he's on the decline.
He hit one today, Father of Man says. So he's tied Matt Chapman.
He finally homered.
But they are trailing. What's his name? I've already forgot his name. Oh, Patrick Bailey. Yeah, they're trailing Patrick Bailey, who has 2.
Bailey has 2. Okay. Man. What a mess, though, Dallas. Joe Schmo says Chappie was never a homer guy. Well, he was a 27 homer guy his first year in 24 here.
So, what do you do at this point if you're Tony Vitello? You need to win. What, you just accept this, or do you rile things up? Do you upset the apple cart? Do you shake things up?
I think Tony's been so nice, and I think he's in a horrible, horrible position that the front office put him in. They gave him a team of veterans that have not produced, and Tony's kind of damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. If he does a shake-up, screaming, this is unacceptable, this is not going to be stood for, he'll lose the veterans. They're not going to have.
At a certain point, losing the veterans, what is that? Is that a bad thing?
Well, you lose the whole clubhouse. It just becomes fractured, and then
at a certain point, what do you have to lose? I mean,
it's really, like I say, it's such a tough position because losing on the field, that's not going to change much. But do you lose your whole self, where you lose your soul almost? I don't want to go that far, but your spirit of who you are.
Yeah, but it's pretty clear that he came into the situation and he has not been able to be who he is. I don't think this is the same Tony Vitello that they hired. He's nerfed himself because he has to fit in with the.
He's been basically neutered. He's been neutered. The way he's a really nice man, and he's passionate. And I can tell you these losses are really hard on him, but I don't think he's enjoying it. There's no way he's enjoying this.
No,
he's. Have you ever been in a job, Dallas? And I ask you this because I have, where you just hated it and you had a knot in your stomach every day, and you just kind of knew you were in the wrong place, but you were stuck and you just didn't. And the only way out of it was to eventually just say, I got to leave.
Luckily, I haven't not been in that situation. Okay. I've been pretty lucky with, where I've worked, but I can certainly imagine how that would be, because that's, you think he's in that position right now?
I think the more this gets deeper and deeper, unless he's in tight with Posey in the front office, is saying, just relax, Tony, the plan is working perfectly. We're going to get these guys out of here. But I don't see Buster doing that. I see Buster as one of these guys. Buster's basically, 5 years older than Chapman? 4 or 5? How old's Posey? 37?
Yeah, 39. I don't know.
I don't even know if he's that old.
39.
39. Okay, so he's about 6 years older than Chapman.
He's 6 years younger than me.
So Chapman and Posey. I mean, Posey's kind of, the only thing that saves Tony's mind is if Buster's telling him we're right where we want to go. This is part of the plan. But if Buster is not relaying that plan or doesn't even know the plan himself, that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned, does Buster even have a plan? That's my big concern. Because, Senior, I know, thinks Buster has a plan. If that's the plan, then yeah, I can see it. That
if there's a plan, it's not going according to plan.
Well, it's definitely not gone according to plan at the beginning of this year. The plan was they thought they were going to be able to win. But if this every time I listen to Posey talk, I think, does he even know what he is doing? He doesn't seem like very prepared. He doesn't seem, he's just kind of, this is like.
I just think he doesn't want to tell us anything.
I hope that's it. I hope
he's forced to do media, but he doesn't want to divulge anything.
Well, here's Buster's. Here's the thing. Buster has to have he can only have one of two plans in my mind. Maybe there's a third, but he's got to have a plan of, we're going to be moving off these contracts. We can't have these guys tie us down for the next 5 years.
He just signed the contracts.
That's what I'm saying. So he's either got to have, I'm getting rid of these guys or I'm sticking with them.
Right. But if he's getting rid of them, that is pretty mature to be able to say, oh, I made a mistake and now I can correct it. Don't chase, bad money with good money and, keep going down the rabbit hole. You have to course correct. And if he's mature enough at his current age to be able to course correct that quickly and say, there's an ego thing you'd have to put aside to say, that was a mistake. Let's go a different direction. And we'll see if that's the case or not. But if he moves one of them, even if it's just one of them, that is admitting a mistake and trying to steer the ship in the right direction. So we'll see if that happens as we get closer to the trade deadline.
Well, Buster last said about Bryce Eldridge, things were day to day. What Sauer is bringing up here is with Tony, is it day to day? I don't know. I don't know why he would have. Look,
I think Bryce Eldridge got out over his shoes, talking to the national media and saying he didn't understand his playing time. He didn't understand why they weren't playing him more. I think he stepped out over his shoes, and I don't think a rookie is supposed to be talking like that. And so maybe they had to kind of knock him back a peg or two and say day to day, maybe we're not going to play you, and kind of put him in his place a little bit. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't heard any media people talk about that. But it seemed odd to me when he, came out in the national media and said that he didn't understand the decision not to play him.
Yeah, I was fine with it. It was an honest answer. He was confused that there was obviously not a lot of communication toward him.
Yeah, but I don't think you talk about it. You're a rookie. You do what they tell you, and you don't try to complain about it to the media.
Well, he wasn't complaining.
Old school, you wouldn't do that.
They just asked him, I think, what's your feeling about this, not playing?
Yeah, and he should have said, I think that...
he just said it's tough. He said it's tough. That's all. That's all he said. It's tough not playing. Tough to understand, but...
tough to understand. Tough not playing, I think, is fine. But when you're questioning what they're doing, I think that's.
But he said, I got to just keep going. I don't think he said anything wrong. I think it is tough to understand. They brought him up to bench him. That was stupid.
I agree. It's tough to understand. I didn't understand it. I don't understand it. You know how they handled the whole thing, and he probably doesn't understand it either. But the fact that he says he doesn't understand it, as an old school baseball guy, I would say, hey man, you know, it's not for you to understand. We tell you what to do. You're the rookie, and if we want to send you down to Sacramento, we could do that. So it's day to day. And so I think there might have been something like that in the background going on. But now he's playing every day. He's playing against lefties, and there's no arguing that he should be playing every day because his at-bats are as mature as anybody else on the team. He's taking pitches. He's making pitchers work. He's getting to full counts. He's putting together professional at-bats nearly every time. Occasionally he does look dumb. He strikes out or whatever, but for the most part, he is putting together good at-bats, and he kills the ball. So there's no reason for him not to play every day right now.
Yeah, I agree. Now here's the deal, though, Dallas. Let's and we'll do a little immaculate grid and get out of here. Here's my thinking on this with Posey. He's basically got the way this team's constructed. There's not a whole lot more he can do to add. Okay. There's not a whole lot. Mike Val says tonight's podcast really did we already do this? I think we missed it, or I put it up, but anyway, thank you, Mike. Really means something in the grand scope of things. I'm buying you both a beer. Well deserved. All right. Thank you, Mike. And here's the whole thinking. If Posey is going to try to do the rebuild, he's got to show that soon. Like either starting this year with the trade deadline and into the off season, if he can't get it all done at the trade deadline.
Yep.
That would be that. If he does very little of that and he doesn't sell off much, and he comes out and says, this is the group of guys that we believe we can win with, they just haven't had the year, then he really doesn't have a plan. That is his plan, to win with these guys. And then you can go.
Then I will have serious concerns about Buster Posey in that position.
If Buster doesn't go with the rebuild, we'll hold final judgment on this and see what happens at the deadline. If this team isn't major sellers and Buster makes the comment like Farhan made, we think this is the group of guys that we can, we got the right guys and that kind of stuff.
I mean, how do you make that argument at this point? You can't.
He's in a really
yeah. But to this point, he has made moves. He's been a man of action. He sold at the last deadline.
But look at his moves. Now let's take a look at his moves though, and analyze the moves. What were his moves last? He moved off of guys that had expiring deals in Duvall. Well, Duvall wasn't. He could have kept Duvall. He got rid of Rogers, got quite a few prospects back from the Mets. Then he got rid of Duvall, and he basically punted on the season last year. And he got prospects. Okay? Yep. Now he trades Bailey, and he gets the 29th.
And he moved off of Yaz, and he moved off of Lamont Wade.
Yeah, Lamont Wade. He didn't re-sign Dom Smith. he basically didn't sign anybody in the offseason to long-term deals. The biggest deal was Bader and Houser. 2-year deals.
2 years. Yep.
So, and those guys can both be traded and probably should be traded. You know, you hope, I mean, we're starting June. So plantar fasciitis, hopefully, you know, within a month, Bader should be back. He can move to a playoff team, possibly as a 4th, 5th outfielder. Okay. So those things show you that maybe he's thinking rebuild.
Yeah. I think he's still in the camp of rebuild, but also put a good team on the field. And he was not successful at that. So
also the senior makes a good point here. How does Tony get experience? No, who made that comment? Somebody did. Yeah, here it is. How does Tony get the experience in the major leagues? I mean, this is baptism by fire. He's
getting experience right now, no doubt about it,
and a rough type of experience. Or would it have been better if you're really doing a rebuild to go with the Tony once you get rid of all the veterans? I mean, or as they just said, hey, you know what? We got Tony here. We're going to start the rebuild now. And then by the time this thing is starting to blossom in 3 years, you know, maybe we renew him because we see he's the right guy. I don't think Tony can be himself around these veteran guys that don't want to be really told what to do by somebody who's just come out of college.
Yeah. But it could be that they bring him in, they say, hey, you know, we have this team now. We're kind of playing for the future. We have a lot of young guys that are going to be coming up, and they're going to be good. But right now, we got to put a product on the field. We got to try to do the best we can, but we can't sign anybody long term now because we have a work stoppage going to be coming up in 2027, labor issues, and we don't know how long we're even going to have baseball. You know, it might be 6 months. You know, we might lose half a season, and it's question marks. We don't know how the collective bargaining agreement is going to be. You know, what's the salary cap issue going to be? There's too many question marks to really plan long term. So for now, we got to just try to do the best we can. But we are going to be, you know, you're going to have a lot of young players and pieces that we can move into the mix down the road. So for now, you get your experience, you do the best you can, and you know, in reality, we're trying to, you know, get better 3 years down the line.
I think Buster has put him in himself in a position where he doesn't look good almost either direction he goes. If he starts moving off of Devers and Chapman and Adames, it looks like, well, why did you want to sign that place?
Yeah, but you slow play it. Just move off of Chapman. Just do that first.
And then
figure out how to get away from Adames next year.
If he gets rid of Tony, because he's trying to make Tony the fall guy.
That's why I don't think it's happening, because that would look really foolish.
That looks bad. He had Melvin. He gave Melvin basically an extension last year as a vote of confidence because the team was falling apart, and he wanted to give Melvin a vote of confidence. Then he fired, which I figured.
Yeah,
I figured what he was doing.
It was a tactic.
See how Melvin actually manages when he thinks he's got security.
Yeah, but also, you know, you show that show of support, and maybe he gets the guys behind him, and you know, it's hard for him to be a lame duck manager. You know, And so you make him not a lame duck manager to see if that makes a difference. Didn't work. They went on the schneid. He traded those bullpen arms, and then they kind of went on a run and, finished 3-4 games out of the wild card. If they had kept their bullpen pieces, they might have even snuck in there, so it was kind of a weird season last year, but I think they did need to go in a different direction because, it's one of the easiest things to change. But now they've committed to Vitello. I don't think they move off of him. Now he could quit and I just don't think he's a quitter. I think he wants the highest level of competition. It's been challenging for him so far, but I think has the personality to, persevere and try and, he wants to win this situation, not just run away from it.
I don't have no idea what's going through Tony's mind other than my guess is he's miserable dealing with this and that, it's got to be completely frustrating to him to be given a group of guys that he cannot have a lot of say in the roster. It's a really horrible roster. It's one of the worst rosters assembled in baseball. I mean, it's just bad.
There's too much wishful thinking. Everything had to go right for it to be successful, right?
Yeah, and I can't believe
in reality nothing's going right.
I can't believe I even went for the smoke of the 88 wins or the 85 plus a few extra wins I thought they might get.
We were all
I was buying into some of the
people's last year stats, right? You look at Malley and Houser last year, they were good. So you think maybe they could be good again. Bader had a great year last year. You think maybe he could be good again. And so you go through each of these things thinking, okay, best case scenario, what's going to happen here? And you do the math and you end up a lot better than where we are now, where all of those pieces didn't come to fruition. They all went the other way. Only Casey Schmitt and Luis Ariz are the only bright spots on this team. Logan Webb, hurt, underperformed. Ray, underperformed. Roop, Roop had a stretch there where he was really good. He was a bright spot early in the season. He's fallen on hard times. Malley, complete disaster. Houser, hit or miss. He had a 3 starts.
Malley's on the IL now, right? With a hammy, so-called hammy.
Phantom hammy.
I look. Buster has to just basically. Mark Graves said it. He's got it. They got to admit, they're not a playoff team. They can't be blowing smoke up people's butt. Trying to tell the fans that this team. We believe in this team. It's we think we're just haven't put it together yet. This team can do this. Look, I am a little worried about Tony in the sense that when a team loses its desire or will to fight, you have to get rid of those players, or you cannot go. You played 56 games, right? Mm-hmm. 58, 22 and 36. You played 58 games. You can't go to the 100-game mark like this unless you were the White Sox, where the expectations were low. But you had high expectations. Most people thought this was a borderline playoff team going. Even the national
yes.
Prognosticators thought this was a playoff borderline team. So if you continue to just lose like this and look like really,
that's a problem. Yeah. Because they got rid of Melvin because he wasn't able to turn it around.
Right.
When you get on a skid, he wasn't able to flip the switch, and now Vitello can't either.
I'm a little worried about this with Tony, because if they're not responding, and they don't respond to him and they keep losing, a lot of times the manager is the fall guy, because they say we can't just, or you have to step out, Posey, and say, we believe in Tony. He is the guy for this team in the future, and we are going to, part of the plan that we brought Tony in is we're going to go younger and we're going to go in a different direction. If you can't say that.
This team could not win with Melvin. They cannot win with Vitello. So what's the common denominator with this team last year and this year?
Lousy talent.
It's the core players.
Yes.
It's the core of this team is rotten, and they need to break it up.
But that is up to Buster.
And Posey has to realize that.
That is up to Buster to lead. He has to either Buster Posey has to stand up and be the man and say, haven't done this the right way. Players haven't performed. We're going to look at like what the St. Louis Cardinals have done, and we're going to go young, and Tony's the guy to lead us with younger type of players. That's, or B, he's going to have to, if he's going to say, these are our guys.
You can't do that.
He looks bad either way, because he went with the only way that I think he can save face.
I thought this would work. It didn't work. Now we got to try something else.
But the only thing that I think he can save face is that we're going to rebuild. And that's one of the reasons we wanted Tony in here, because if this didn't work this year, we were going to go for it this year with our core group. And going into this year, we felt like if this team performed to its capabilities, we could compete, but obviously they're not. So we are going to go in a different direction, and we're going to, and that's why maybe you say that at the near the trade deadline after you've dealt some guys, or you just say, this is where we're going. Otherwise, if you're thinking these are the guys and you're going to double down on that, then I don't see how Tony could last. Was he going to, all of a sudden, everybody's just going to just jump on board?
And I don't see how you do that.
I think it's one way or the other. I think it's either rebuild and Tony's the guy, or I think, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's going to be the guy that either says,
but then you bring in somebody else and it's the same thing again.
Of course it is, because it is the core. This is why I said an hour ago, got to rebuild it.
But you don't have to save face. Just blame the players. That's who it should go to.
Exactly. The players haven't.
We signed
performed.
These guys. We spent $200 million. We got taken to the cleaners. It sucks, but now we got to move on.
But Buster's not going to unfortunately say that, because he's a player.
No, he's not going to say that, but he's going to say, well, obviously it's not working. We need to move in a different direction. It's unfortunate.
The only answer to this, guys, whether you go forward with Tony, hopefully they do. I like Tony. I think he's the right guy for the right type of players, the right type of team. But there's only one clear path that gets you out of this. And it's the nuclear option. It really is. It is going nuclear and blowing it completely up. And you cannot continue with any of these guys. And when I say any of them, I'll do it in order. Chapman, Adames, Devers, and I'm talking about the guys who are signed long-term. I'm not talking about the guys like Robbie Ray. Obviously,
Of course.
they're gone. But in order to get this thing in the right boat, it's Chapman 1, Adames 2, Devers 3, Webb, and then Lee. Those 5 guys, you've got to just say, you know what? We're moving off of all of these contracts. We're starting fresh, almost like you're building a new company. And you get rid of all of that off your books, and then you just start fresh, and you got all these young guys. You bring in more young guys. You keep drafting. You keep getting internationally, top players internationally. And then you don't ever sign guys to no trade deals again. Unless you're getting a Shohei Ohtani when he was Shohei, 2-3 years ago, whatever. But you Senior thinks trades are coming very soon. Let's hope so. I mean, I think let's get out of here. But I think tomorrow, Robbie Ray, by the way, pitches tomorrow. I think tomorrow the Giants get swept.
Okay. Well, I hope that they salvage one. I hope that Ray pitches great so that they get it ups his
trade value.
Yeah.
I think the Rockies
want him to get hot here the next month.
Remember what I told you, the Rockies are going to play well at home. They got embarrassed on the road, and they get home. They're playing energized baseball. You see the energy these guys are having there, and you know what they are? They're a group of younger guys. They don't have any. Who's the veteran on the Rockies? They don't have one. They don't have no big Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, Rafael Devers. They don't have any of those guys.
I know, but then they have the same record as the Giants.
And
they're a crappy team. They're a crappy, inexperienced team, and they make the Giants look foolish. It's a sad state of affairs.
And they're stealing bases with a 7-0 lead. So I think the Giants get swept tomorrow. The fact that they got a run. Now, if they would have they lost 8-3. If they would have put up a couple more runs and lost 8-5, 8-6 tonight, I would have picked the Giants to win tomorrow because I said they're going to carry some momentum with you. But look what the Giants have had to do. Their bullpen is shot. Colorado kills your bullpen.
They don't have a bullpen.
Right. And then tonight
the bullpen is inexperienced. They have not pitched in Colorado before, and they hang their off-speed pitches right out in the middle of the plate, and then the Rockies just hammer it. So
they lost 3 guys to the bullpen that probably aren't available tomorrow. Henches, Brubaker, Baraki. So they got Miller, Killian, Paguro.
The guys that lost it yesterday.
Yeah. So I think sweep happens. I'm going to stick, I said 3-7 on this trip.
Maybe Ray can pitch 7 scoreless. That's the only way the Giants win is if he gives up 2 runs, pitches 7 innings, and
pretty much.
Then the bullpen only has to handle a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. Do we want to get out of here? Or do we want to play a quick game of Immaculate Grid?
No, it's 2 hours.
Yeah.
How do we talk about this team for 2 hours?
I don't know. I don't know why we do it, because we have almost 400 people here listening to us, I guess. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. I don't know how we do it. It's a mess. So we'll be back for more punishment tomorrow.
It's free fall, remember? Look at those Giants having fun there.
Yeah. Enjoy your Sunday. Immaculate Grid is fun, Matthew says. You know what? I'm going to let Dallas go. I'll play the Immaculate Grid with you guys real quick, just because what the heck? There's nothing else to do. We might start the show off tomorrow with the Immaculate Grid and do it for an hour and just not even talk Giants baseball. How's that?
All right. You guys have fun. I'll tune in on the YouTube stream.
You tune in, Dallas. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon, and we'll just, make sure you get up in the morning and sweep your porch.
Will do. I'll give you a short goodbye.
Goodbye. That's a goodbye from Dallas. All right, guys. Let's see if we got anything with Immaculate Grid here. It's not coming up here. Why is this? Come on. It's still buffering. 10+ win season, threw a no-hitter, 2,000 career pitching, 300+ saves, career pitch. Ooh, born outside the. Come on. Give me the grid. Is this anybody when you see something like this? All right, guys, this could be fun. Hold on. Is this, there's no teams? Do we just bring this up like this? Anybody? 10+ win season, threw a no-hitter. Guys, I don't have a team, right? You know what? I'm just going to try this right here. And then we're going to get out of here. All right. I'm going to try. Hold on. Why can't I type the person's name in here? There's no place to put the. Shoot. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Watch this, guys. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. 0.2%. Threw a no-hitter and an all-star. Does that mean we have to find a no-hitter and an all-star right here? How about if we do, let's see if we can do this. Come on. It's all right. It's not giving me a chance to type in the name. Come on. Here we go. This is not working tonight. It's not letting me type in a name, guys. Okay, here we go. There we go. Look at this, guys. We're filling it in. Hold on here. Let's go to the next one. Born outside the U.S., 50 states, and D.C., threw a no-hitter. Threw a no-hitter. And he was born outside the U.S., 50 states. How about that? How about this guy? Hold on. Let's see it. I'm going to go with Renel Blanco. What do you think of Blanco? What do you think of? Was that guy born out of the Hideo Nomo? Jonathan Sanchez. We can go all Giants. We can get Jonathan Sanchez, but do we know if Sanchez was born out? Should we go with I'm seeing Nomo. I think Nomo might be the guy, or do we want to go with Renel Blanco, Houston Astros? He threw a no-hitter last year. Where was he born? Come on. For some reason, it's not letting me type the name. Okay, here we go. I'm really struggling with this tonight. It's not letting me. I'm trying to type the name and it's ticking me off. It keeps leaving. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Like, look, I go to type the name. Hideo. And it's gone. I can't get it. And I don't have the patience. Why is this not letting me? All right, guys, I can't do it. I was going to go with Hideo Nomo, and I can't type the name in. I'm out. I'm tired. I'm not messing with this. It's all screwed up. We'll see ya. Playing like the Giants for me. Screwing up. Hideo Nomo. It's not going to let me do it. Screw it. I was going to go 9 for 9. I cleaned it out. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do another one. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. We'll see you tomorrow. Go sweep your porches in the morning. That way you'll get the sweeping done before the game starts. All right? Just my word of advice. Go get your porches swept. See ya tomorrow. Thanks for watching.